The city was enveloped in darkness. The power outage had plunged the streets into an eerie stillness, with only flickering candlelight and sporadic bursts of emergency vehicle sirens breaking the silence. In the midst of this chaos, two strangers found themselves trapped together in an elevator. Elizabeth, a young woman in her 20s, nervously tapped her foot as the elevator remained motionless. She pressed the call button repeatedly, hoping someone would answer, but the deafening silence persisted. Just as she was about to lose hope, the elevator jolted, and the doors creaked open. A man stepped in, breathing heavily. He wore a disheveled suit and carried a briefcase. Without saying a word, he pressed the button for the 6th floor, and the doors closed once again. Quite the blackout, huh? Elizabeth attempted to break the ice, her voice filled with apprehension. I hope they restore power soon. The man nodded, his gaze fixed on the floor. Yes, it's quite inconvenient. I have an important meeting tomorrow, and without power, I won't be able to gather my notes. Elizabeth studied the stranger, her curiosity piqued. What do you do? I'm a scientist, he replied, his face lighting up with a spark of excitement. I study genetics and hereditary traits. Fascinating stuff, really. Intrigued, Elizabeth leaned closer. You mean like how we inherit certain traits from our parents? Exactly, the man replied, a glimmer of intrigue in his eyes. In fact, did you know that some familial connections are so deeply ingrained that even strangers can share similarities? It's like having an invisible bond. Elizabeth's mind whirled with questions. Do you think that can happen between siblings who were separated at birth? The man's eyes widened, and he seemed taken aback. Actually, yes. In rare cases, long-lost siblings can unknowingly possess uncanny resemblances they can't explain. A chill ran down Elizabeth's spine. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more to this coincidence. As the two continued talking, they realized they were both left at the doorstep of an orphanage on the same day, 2 decades ago. Elizabeth's parents had died in a car accident, and she had no knowledge of any other family. The man, who introduced himself as Michael, had been adopted shortly after, but he always felt a void in his life, a longing to find his true family. As the conversation deepened, the similarities became impossible to ignore. Elizabeth and Michael discovered shared interests, hobbies, and even peculiar idiosyncrasies they both possessed. It was as if their lives had mirror-imaged each other in some inexplicable way. Time passed quickly, and soon, the elevator doors slid open onto the 6th floor. Michael and Elizabeth exchanged glances, their hearts pounding. They had grown to care for each other in this brief encounter, and the connection they felt was too strong to ignore. Hesitant, yet hopeful, Michael extended his hand to Elizabeth. What do you say we find out if we're long-lost siblings? Elizabeth took his hand, feeling a mix of excitement and fear. They walked out of the elevator, leaving the blackout behind. Soon, they would embark on a journey of discovery, uncovering the truth behind their connection. Months later, after conducting DNA tests and unraveling hidden family histories, the truth emerged. Elizabeth and Michael were indeed long-lost siblings, separated at birth after their parents' tragic accident. Though they had started as strangers in an elevator amidst a power outage, they had found something much more profound: a lifelong bond and a second chance at family. Their unexpected reunion brought solace and a sense of completeness, affirming the mysterious connection they had felt that fateful day. Elizabeth and Michael would navigate the ups and downs of life together, no longer alone in the world, bound by an invisible thread woven through past, present, and future.